Great class. It's been an enjoyment thing for me. It's been a great evening here. Thank you much for letting us come. Thank you, Ms. Hoffman.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jeff Covey. I'm the DJ tonight. I'd like to say a few words about our next speaker. You may know him as a fellow classmate. He's a six-time Emmy Award winner. He's inducted into the Martial Arts Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Hall of Fame.
And he was an award-winning author of a book called Life's Too Short.
I still got a scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, West Carrollton classmate and alum from 1964, Mr. Terry Wilson.
Right, Terry.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being given a few minutes to chat with my fellow pirates, and I got to tell you, it is such a kick to stand here and look out over all of my former classmates' parents. What the hell happened? When did we go from cruising frishes to sitting around with our hand in our pants on a sofa watching the wheel? Hey, Martha, Pat's turning the wheel. Get the popcorn. Come on in. But it's good to see every gray hair. Some of us have found the fountain of youth. I call it Grisham formula, brown, light brown. And some of us just don't have that problem anymore. Now, I wrote that joke specifically for Rick. And he's not here. Think how funny that would be if I were standing over there rubbing his head right now.
That would get it.
But it is kind of like talking to our parents. I'm looking at my buddy Glenn over there, and I want to go over and ask Mr. Moses if Glenn can come out and play ball. and last night, well, Father Time has a way of sneaking up on us, but he does have a way of letting you know that you're getting a little bit older. How many of you guys, before you go on a trip, pack Polident instead of toothpaste? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And last night was such a kick seeing everybody for the first time. And Tom Simons came up to me. I haven't seen him in 30, 40 years. And he said the nicest thing I've heard in a long time. He says, "I thought you were dead. God, it's good to see you alive." I said, "Tom, thank you. I'm damn happy to hear that." And Tom's, of course, a very successful attorney. And if you think back to when we were in high school, even grade school, we kind of got an inkling of what people were going to do. I mean, obviously, I was always going to do this. I had no other skills, kept getting C's. So I had to do this. Now, Tom, I remember we used to go over to Denny Brown's house, the mansion, and every Saturday afternoon, a bunch of us would play football in the yard. And I remember this one time, it was the gang, Tom, and John Shooter. Do you guys remember John?
Yeah.
God bless his heart. I don't know what he was doing there with the football in his hand, but he tried so hard. And so we said, just hand the ball to him, let him run once. And Dave Thompson blindsided him. And he's laying there with the little snot bubbles coming out of his nose, his eyes are doing this. And Tom runs over and he says, "I saw that, he blindsided you." And he gave him his card. Attorney. My buddy Tim over there, very snappy dresser, very snappy, always knew that he would have something to do in the clothing business. When we used to play baseball at Little League, he was the only one out in the field wearing a starched uniform with pleats. Dead giveaway, dead giveaway. And there are things you remember about your classmates. Don't lie, Shirley Lee, Man, I always remember two things about Shirley. Don't go there. Do not go there. I'm sorry, Shirley. Shirley had the greatest smile, and she was always willing to just be a great support. She was just, and she's also responsible for a lot of neck injuries. To this day, most of the guys in our class walk around going like this. We're getting older. We're getting older. But how old are we getting? Can we admit that we are getting older? Well, I have devised a game to find out if we are too old for prime time. Mr. Music, hit it! I'll be with you in a second. I love this part. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to play a little game. I'm going to give you the first couple of titles of the show. We're going to jump into Mr. Peabody's Wayback Machine. And if you know Mr. Peabody's Wayback Machine, you're already too old for prime time. And I'm going to give you the first couple of letters. For example, words rather. If we were playing a modern game, I would say, wheel of. You would say, Fortune. One more time, wheel of. Fortune. Okay, let's get this party started. I don't need you, baby. I can do it on my own. The Twilight Zone. Yeah, baby, you got it. In a strange place in West Carrollton, Ohio, a teacher kept giving this young man C's, even though fate had other things in store for him. Get used to it, it's going to be a long night. Okay, the next one, I love. Lucy. I love Lucy. Lucy, baby, baby, salt the grapes, you got it good. Have gun, will. Trouble, you got it. Bonus point, triple points, if you can tell me the name of his gun. He had no gun. He had no name for his gun. Leave it to Beaver. One more time, leave it to Beaver. I just love seeing Beaver with teachers in the class. We are all going to get detention. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The real
McCoy's.
No, 50s. McCoy's. Anybody remember the name of the handyman?
Oh my God.
He's Spanish.
Papina.
Yeah.
Papina. You now lose valuable points. American Bandstand. I want to tell you a quick story about Dick Clark. I got to work with Dick a few times. Back in the late 60s, I did a marathon. I stayed on the air for 200 hours in Oxford, set a world's record. Dick got a hold of it. They brought me out to California, and I did his show. A handful of years later, I'm doing PM Magazine, and I'm doing a segment with a horse. I'm showing you how to show a horse. Dick told me this was his favorite blooper. You know, it's funny. I've won like 6 Emmys, I've won Best Writing Awards, I've been on just enough television shows for people to think I've gone to school with them, but I never could get my mom or dad to watch any one of these shows. The one show my mom watched, this is what happened. I'm showing the horse, I'm doing the dialogue to the camera, and the horse shifts its weight. I can't let go of the hoof. He puts his butt right in my face, raises his tail, cuts the longest horse fart in the history of television. And it's like mustard gas. I can't let go of the horse. I'm still going. And coming up on PM Magazine, I got Jeannie Miller, and she's got a great gig because she doesn't have her face on a horse's ass. And that was Dick Clark's favorite blooper, and that's how my mom remembers me for on television. Sad. Okay, put it in gear. 57 Chevy, moving up to the 60s. The game continues. The Beverly.
Hillbillies.
What was the girl's name?
Ellie Mae.
Ellie Mae. All right. Who was Jed?
Pamper.
Yeah, you got it. Want to hold this for me? Oh, okay. Gilligan's. Okay, guys, how many, between Ginger and Marianne, hands only, how many would like to be stranded with Ginger? Marianne! Yeah, baby. I dream of. You got it. Mr. Don't go away. Got one more thing to do. You know, we're talking about memories. And we're also talking about computers, which I hate. We're talking about memories. I have a bunch of them right here that I'm putting on the internet and on Facebook. Now, I have one here that's very special. How many of you remember your first kiss? Okay, I not only remember it, Kathy Tufts. Now on this next one, I gave my first kiss, and I would like to recreate history. Linda, where are you? You know who you are. Linda Mayo, where are you? Where are you?
Good, good.
I want a picture of this. Come here. We got to do this right. Okay. Now wait a minute. Okay. Ready? She looked a lot more excited in this picture. Oh man, guys, thank you very much for coming out, giving me a few minutes to say hello to everybody. It truly is a pleasure. I do think of you guys often, and I just hope we're all here again real soon to do this another time. So, fellow pirates, this is your 50th. Have a good time.
All right.